All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So today was a little different compared to, especially if I track back maybe the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks even. And while maybe I started my day feeling a little slightly, it's like sometimes, what is it they say? Uh, you get out of bed on you get out of bed on the wrong side, something to that effect, right? There's an expression in English. um, or sometimes it's like, the correct expression is you put your right foot forward. Sometimes maybe you start the day with your left foot forward, and the day can feel a little different. Sometimes you may end up feeling a little lost. um, but the important thing, and this is what inspired today's pod, is that sometimes you rise, sometimes you fall, but then you rise again. And so, if you, especially as a healer coach, somebody who's on this journey, whether it comes to uh, deepening your own personal healing, um, whether it comes to being a more present, a more connected coach as you're working with other people, helping them on their journey, or maybe it is about how you are, you know, discovering more about the the professional that you are being, the you're discovering more and more of who you are, um, whether it's for yourself or whether it is when you're working with your clients, whether it is when you're working with your students. There will be moments, there will be days, there will be times where um, it's like it might feel like you were moving 3 steps forward, and then maybe you've taken a side step. But one thing I can tell you from experience, and I can definitely say I speak from experience because I've been doing this work now for close to 2 decades. So um, earlier on, it used to throw me off quite a bit, where it would take me maybe days, maybe even weeks sometimes to kind of snap out of um, whatever mental frame that I was trying to make sense of, or mental fog that I had kind of like stepped into, all with the intention of really understanding. It's like, if you're like me, who's someone who's always asking this question, or very often asking the question, which is, why am I here? What is the purpose of my being? Then it's very normal to have this kind of like an inner dialogue, a dialogue with yourself. And sometimes you can kind of get lost in that. Now, having said all of that, of course, now at this point, this is of course many years later, I'm able to notice the signs a lot faster. I'm able to be more present with it. And I'm also able to just kind of allow it the space that it deserves, because like they say, pain is a signal, which means it's telling you something. And so when you actually listen to it, eventually you get the message, and then that pain tends to go away. Don't take my word for it. Test it out the next time you have a headache, right? Instead of reaching for that, unless it's like something really, really, it's a medical condition. But otherwise, if you have a stress headache, the next time, if you do, just for a change, just be present to it. Just notice, just observe. Um, and very often you will kind of find some kind of um, inner message coming to you. And very often when you actually listen to it, the pain can actually go away. Now, remember, disclaimer, this is not medical advice. This is more sort of your unconscious messaging. And so, we're talking more on a slightly different plane. As you can tell, I'm like tapping into something a little different right now. This is definitely not medical advice. And so I'm just telling you that's the disclaimer. And also saying that if you enjoy, you know, tapping into the unconscious, then you will also notice that your unconscious is, is giving you signals pretty much most of the time. And so when you start to pay attention to it, you probably also start to find um, some answers. You probably start to get more ideas. And if you think about it, that's what we do most of the time, right? It's like saying, when you're feeling stuck, and rather than trying to go forward, if you just be there for a little while, a lot of times you will sort of notice ideas, you will notice ways to get unstuck without trying to get unstuck. So I would definitely say, take what I've shared with you and test it. Don't just take my word for it, test it. So, like I said, today's pod is more of a reminder to me that we all change. And the more you stay with this work, the more you actually do the work, um, you will discover more about who you are. You'll discover more about what makes you the person that you are. And also, this is a sign that you're growing. This is a sign that you are truly connecting even deeper to your higher power, your God self. People call it by different names, but in essence, you're really tapping into something that's beyond the um, the conscious, beyond the in fact beyond your limitations. So, like I said, today is not your typical pod, but it's also just a reflection for me of where I am and the journey that I'm on. And I trust that, if you have been a regular viewer or a listener or even a watcher of these pods, you will probably find some resonance or a lot. You'll see some connection to your own life. And my wish for you is that this message is just to remind you that there is hope, and that the answer is here. So, as always, of course, having said all of this, um, if this message has been of help and you want to be part of a community, do come and join us. Come and join the hypnosis community, because we do a lot of inner work. We do a lot of um, unconscious based inner work, and truly the tapping into the power of hypnosis and NLP or neuro linguistic programming, which will help you really go much deeper than you could have otherwise done. So I really am truly looking forward to seeing you in our community. And having said all that, of course, remember to live with purpose. So I look forward to seeing you in the next pod. Remember, these are daily pods, so I will be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead. God bless, and I will see you in the next. Take care. Bye bye.